We real cool, we left school, we lurk late, we strike straight, we sing sin, we think gin, we jazz June, we die soon. Olaudah Equiano, writing in 1789. One day, when all our people were gone out to their work as usual, only me and my sister were left to mind the house. 2 men and a woman got over the walls, and in a moment seized both of us, and ran off with us to the nearest wood. We were carried through a number of places until we came to a town called Tinma, in the most beautiful country I've seen in Africa. There I was sold to a merchant. In this happy place I passed about 2 months, and was beginning to forget my misfortunes, when one morning I was wakened out of my dreams to fresh sorrow, and was kidnapped away to a foreign land. William WellsBrown, writing in 1847. We went to New Orleans and put a gang in the same Negro pen we'd used before. In a short time the planters came flocking to the pen to purchase slaves. Before the slaves were put up for auction, they were dressed and driven out into the yard. Some were set to dancing, some to jumping, some singing and some playing cards. This was done to make them appear cheerful and happy. I've often seen them dancing when their cheeks were wet with tears. As slaves were in good demand at that time, they were all soon disposed of, and we again set out for St. Louis. Harriet Jacobs, writing in 1861. There was some conjecture as to the cause of the slave's punishment. Some said the master accused him of stealing corn. Others said the slave had quarrelled with his wife, accusing his master of being the father of her child. He was taken to the workhouse and tied up to a joist, so his feet didn't quite reach the ground. Never before in all my life had I heard hundreds of blows fall upon a human being. His piteous groans rang in my ears for months after. I went to the workhouse and saw the cowhide still wet with blood, and the boards covered with gore. The poor man lived, still quarrelled with his wife, and a few months after, the master handed them both over to the slave trader. I'm drifting and drifting like a ship out on the sea. Yeah, I'm drifting and drifting like a ship out on the sea. And I can't help hoping for the way it used to be. I'm ducking and diving like a bandit on the run. ducking and diving like a panda on the run. Since I met you, darling, oh, I never needed anyone. Frederick Douglass, writing in 1892. Mr. Gore, the master, was a grave man. When he whipped, he seemed to do it from a sense of duty, and feared no consequences. On whipping a slave by the name of Denby, he gave but a few stripes when the slave ran, and plunged himself into a creek to get rid of the scourging, and stood there at the depth of his shoulders, refusing to come out. Mr. Gore told him he would give him 3 calls, and if he hadn't come out by the 3rd call, he'd shoot him. The 1st call was given. Denby made no response, but stood his ground. The 2nd and 3rd calls were given with the same result. Then, Mr. Gore took deadly aim at his standing victim, and in an instant poor Denby was no more. His mangled body sank out of sight, and blood and brains marked the water where he stood. When I die, don't hide my soul away. Yeah, when I die, don't hide my soul away. Gonna fly me up, land in another day. Ida Wells, writing in 1895. During the past 30 years in the South, hardly any of the murders done by white men have come to light. But the statistics, as gathered by white men, show that more than 10,000 Negroes were killed in cold blood, without the formality of judicial trial and legal execution. Somewhere between 10 and 20 million Africans were kidnapped and shipped to the Americas during the 200 years of the British slave trade. Half died during the sea crossing.
Preacher man, don't come knocking at my door. Preacher man, don't come knocking at my door. I don't want to share your gospel, I just can't hear you anymore. Mr. Preacher Man, keep on talking about the law. Mr. Preacher Man, just keep on talking about the law. Well, I done got so evil, keep on rambling down the road. Well, now you just come knocking, you just won't let it pass. Trying to give me your religion. You know I never asked. You're telling me that I'm evil, all these bad things I do. If you don't get the message, I'm gonna get evil all over you. I said, preacher man, come knocking on my door. Yeah, I don't want to share your gospel, just can't hear you anymore. Preacher man, no, you just can't understand. Mr. Preacher man, just can't understand. I got my mind made up already. Sure don't want no preacher man.
Juke is the word for a Negro pleasure house. It may mean a bawdy house. It may mean the house set apart on public works where the men and women dance, drink and gamble. The dance is slow and sensuous. The idea in the juke is to gain sensation and not so much exercise, so that just enough foot movement is added to keep the dancers on the floor. A tremendous sex stimulation is gained from this. The man, the woman, the time and the place have met. In Harlem, it was the Saturday night rent parties, more amusing than any nightclub, held in small apartments where God knows who lived, because the guests seldom did, and where awful bootleg whiskey and good fried fish or steaming chitterlings were sold at low prices, and the dancing and singing and impromptu entertaining went on until dawn came in at the windows.
Baby's house. Been walking so long, you know, to my baby's house. Just another 5 miles and then I'm better man. Here my feet are walking now. Boy, this old road sure is dusty and hot. When I get home, I'm gonna tear open the icebox. I'll pull out a nice cold Carlsberg. Oh, Lord, I forgot about the mother-in-law. I bet she ain't left no cold beer in that icebox. here's what I'm gonna say to my mother-in-law when I get home. Now maybe I've been drinking, maybe I've had enough. Oh, mother-in-law, maybe I've been drinking, honey, maybe I've had enough. But you know, mother-in-law, where I'm standing, you sure is ugly as stuff.
I've known rivers. I've known rivers ancient as the world and older than the flow of blood in human veins. My soul has grown deep like the rivers. I bathed in the Euphrates when dawns were young. I built my hut near the Congo, and it lulled me to sleep. I looked upon the Nile and raised the pyramids above it. I heard the singing of the Mississippi when Abe Lincoln went down to New Orleans, and I've seen its muddy bosom turned all golden in the sunset. I've known rivers, ancient, dusky rivers. My soul has grown deep like the rivers. I'm going to be just like you, Ma Rainey. This Monday morning, clouds puffing up out of my head like those balloons that float above the faces of the white people in the funny papers. I'm going to hover in the corners of the world, Ma, and sing, from the bottom of hell up to the tops of high heaven, and send out scratchless waves of yellow and brown, and that basic black honey, misery. I'm going to cry so sweet and so low and so dangerous, Ma, that the message is going to reach you back in 1922, where you shimmer, snaggle-toothed, perfumed and powdered in your bauble beads, hair pressed and tied back, throbbing with that sick pain I know and hide so well. That pain, that blues, jives the world with an aching to be heard. That downness, that bottomless, first felt by some stolen Delta nigger, swamped under with red-blooded American agony, reduced to the sheer shit of existence that bred and battered us all, Ma. The beautiful people, our beautiful, brave black people, who no longer need to jazz or sing to themselves in murdered vibrations, or play the veins of their strong, tender arms with needles to prove that we're still here.
Magistrate, magistrate, please don't you give me a fine. Magistrate, magistrate, please don't you give me a fine. What evil have I done but be caught smoking a jazz woodbine? First time that I came here, that time I nearly did despair. First time that I came here, that time I nearly did despair. They accused me of obstruction. I was standing alone playing my guitar in Leicester Square. Well, there's three things in this life help me to have my fun. There's three things in this life help me to have my fun. They arrested me for two. Please, God, don't arrest me for the other one. I'll play 'em piggers now. Magistrate, magistrate, please don't you give me a fine. Magistrate, magistrate, please don't you give me a fine. What evil have I done but be caught smoking a jazz woodbine?
One winter afternoon in 1929, en route to my work at the post office, I paused at a newsstand on which papers blazed, "Stocks crash, billions fade." Most of what I'd seen in the newspapers had never concerned me, so why should this? Newspapers reported the doings in a life I didn't share, but the volume of mail fell so low that I worked but 1 or 2 nights a week. In the post office canteen, the boys stood about and talked. The Reds had a picket line around the City Hall, surplus productions throwing millions out of work. There are more than 2 million unemployed. They don't count. They're always out of work. Read Karl Marx and get the answer, boys. There'll be a revolution if this keeps up. The post office job ended, and I was again out of work. I could no longer think that the tides of economics were not my concern. By the following summer, unemployed men loitered in doorways with blank looks in their eyes, sat dejectedly on front steps in shabby clothing, congregated in sullen groups on street corners, and filled all the benches in the parks of Chicago's South Side.
Yeah, I get down on my knee, raise up my right hand. I said,
Because there was a man somewhere, in a candy-striped silk shirt, gracile and dangerous as a jaguar, and because a woman moaned for him in 60-watt gloom, and mourned him, faithless love, two-timing love, oh careless aggravating love, she came out on the stage in yards of pearls, emerging like a favourite scenic view, flashed her golden smile and sang. Because grey laths began somewhere to show from underneath torn hurdy-gurdy lithographs of doll-faced heaven, and because there were those who feared the alarming fists of snow on the door, and those who feared the riot squad of statistics, she came out on the stage in ostrich feathers, beaded satin, and shone that smile on us and sang.
There's a great big mystery, and it sure is worrying me. This ditty, why did it? This ditty, why did it? I wish somebody tell me what ditty was, ditty means. Some little girl about 4 feet 4. Come on, Papa, and give me some more your ditty, why did it? Yes, you ditty, why did it? I wish somebody tell me what ditty was, ditty means. Well, I went to church, put my head on the seat. Some girl sat down and said, "You sure look sweet, Mr. Diddy, what did it? Mr. Diddy, why did it?" I want somebody tell me what Diddy was, Diddy means. I said, "Sis, I'll soon be gone. Give me that thing that you're sitting on, some of your Diddy, why did it? Yes, you Diddy, why did it?" I want somebody tell me what Diddy was, Diddy means. Walked around, some girl yelled, "Look who's in town, Mr. Diddy, why did it? Mr. Diddy, why did it?" I wish somebody tell me what Diddy was, Diddy means. Yes, I gotta put out of church, 'cause I talked about Diddy want Diddy too much. This Diddy, why diddy? This Diddy, why diddy? I wish somebody tell me what Diddy want, Diddy means. Some little girl about 4 feet 4. Come on, Papa, and give me some more. Your Diddy, why did it? Yes, you Diddy, why did it? I wish somebody tell me what Diddy was, Diddy means. Walked around, some girl yelled, "Look who's in town, Mr. Diddy, why did it? Mr. Diddy, why did it?" I wish somebody tell me what Diddy was, Diddy means. Yes, I got put out of church, 'cause I talked about Diddy, why Diddy too much. This Diddy, why did it? Mr. Diddy, why did it? I wish somebody tell me what Diddy was, Diddy means.
The low beating of the tom-toms. The slow beating of the tom-toms. Low, slow, slow, low. Stirs your blood. Dance. A night-veiled girl whirls softly, slowly, like a wisp of smoke around the fire. And the tom-toms beat. And the tom-toms beat. slow beating of the tom-toms stirs your blood. I'm going down to the crossroads, see if my good girl's over there. Yeah, going down to the crossroads, check out my best girl over there. She told me a story just the other day, told me how her nightmares would never go away. She told me now how things were looking black, and how her brother was never coming back. And now you feel abused. You got a black dog in your shoes. I know this is your good news. I'm reunited with the blues. She wrote me a letter, she wrote it in her own hand. And when I got the message, I began to understand. Her brother was dead, killed by a man that carried a stick and a pistol in his hand. She told me the story just the other day, and now her nightmares will never go away. And now you feel abused. You got a black dog in your shoes. I know this is your good news. I'm reunited with the blues. And when I got the message, I began to understand. Her brother was dead, killed by a man that carried a stick and a pistol in his hand. And now you feel abused. You got a black dog in your shoes. This is your good news. I'm reunited with the blues. Yeah, this is your good news. I'm reunited with the blues. Yeah, this is your good news. I'm reunited with the blues.